Welcome back to my channel. This is Mary. I'm so glad that you're here today. In one of my past videos, you would have seen this cliff behind me, and it was just a cliff. In fact, I've had something made that's gone past resident services for some time, and I added a staircase to it. I really wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with this area. But I am going to have this lead to my shopping district. So I went ahead and started playing around with waterfalls, and I realized I really liked what I did. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this here. Let me show you this area that I have right now and what we're going to do today. So this is all I have, and I've been playing around with this cute little path that I found that I thought would be really nice, that I would be able to wind around. I don't want a straight bridge that goes back to the shopping district. I want something that's windy, something very similar to what I had on Milton, where I can decorate it and put flowers and trees and whatnot just to make it look really cute. So that's the plan for today. Now, I usually don't show making cliffs on my videos. I usually have that done ahead of time, but I've had requests from people that I know that have subscribed to my channel that would like to see how that's done. They don't play Animal Crossing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to figure out what to do with this area. I'm going to connect these two sections together, and I'm probably going to put another waterfall over on the other side to match the one that I've already done. And then of course my winding land bridge is going to come over here, and I'm going to do something like a floating island with the shops on it and a diagonal bridge. So the island or the cliff is going to have to be quite large. I'm really going to have to see if I can fit it in. Ignore the markings on the ground. I was going to do something completely different, that I've kind of scratched that idea, and I'm going to what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to speed this up, and I'm actually going to talk through this a little bit while I'm making these cliffs, see if I can do it without very many mistakes or mishaps. Of course there are going to be some, just because that's what I do. See, I told you. I don't think you can ever be perfect, but we'll get there. So I'm going to be going back and forth a little bit, trying to measure how big I think this needs to be. I'm going to be eyeing it a little bit. Right now, I'm not able to time travel to the next day until I get lucky on my island. I did a whole video on that, waiting for Buck to leave, and now I'm waiting to get lucky moved on. So I have an open spot or a plot, and I can't time travel to actually finish this in this video. This is going to be a part 1 of part 2. This is going to be more my process of making the cliffs, figuring out how long and wide I need it, doing that land bridge, connecting them together. All of that's going to be done today in this video. And like I said, I have people that I know who don't play Animal Crossing, and they really wanted to see how I do this. So that's why I'm showing it. It was requested, but I definitely wanted to speed it up a little bit, or we're going to be here all day. Now I do want this island to curve a little bit, or it's not going to be a straight cliff. There's going to be some curving to it, and that's why I am adding the cliffs on the way I am, because I'm going to hit the ends, the edges, so that way it gives that look that it's curved a little bit, not straight. And as you can see, it kind of diagonally goes up a little bit, and that's where I'm going to put my bridge. And the bridge is going to go between Nooks and Abel's. And then right behind resident services, I think you saw it, well, you can see it now, where Nooks is currently sitting. When I get these cliffs in, there's going to be like a little nook there that's going to be empty. And I'm thinking about putting a post office in there. So that way it's a shopping district which has the shops, and then there's going to be a little post office in the area. Over on the peninsula behind me, I am going to put Tommy's Cafe. And Tommy is one of my dogs that I'm honoring with this island. And so he is going to have his own cafe. So that's going to be a fun little build to do in the future as well. So I'm just checking my map. I just kind of want to see what it looks like. Now, of course, this is going to be a floating island because I have the river mouth right here. And when I'm done, I'm going to have this surrounded by water. And I'm going to do that on the other side of what's going to be my rainbow bridge. That's that land bridge that you see in the middle. It's not showing it right now, but it will in a little bit. And there's going to be water on that side as well. So it gives the illusion that the river mouths are all connected, and that there's river between both of them. So here I am just extending my curved walkway that's going to connect over to that cliff. I really like these nature walkways when they're curved a little bit, and they kind of give that illusion of, I don't know, you're out in nature and you're not on a path that's straight. You don't know what's around the next bend a little bit. I really like making these. I think they're nice. So I'm just going to continue to make this. Okay, and now I'm taking this over, which is going to make that little nook where Nooks is sitting right now. That little space where it looks like something small could fit in there. And that's where the post office is going to go. Now I do end up changing my mind on the idea right here. You'll see that in this video here in a few minutes. It's almost like a big light bulb went on. I'm like, oh, this would look really cute. So I changed it a little bit. So you'll see that in a minute. And then I'm going to continue this curved cliff that I'm working on right now. That is going to be a waterfall that's going to hopefully not be identical, because I don't tend to make identical waterfalls. But it's going to be similar, and it's going to be in a similar area. Okay, so now I'm working back on trying to connect this over to my area where the shops are going to be. A lot of back and forth, just trying to get it just the way I want it. Sometimes I really don't know how I want this until I start making them, and then, you know, it just kind of comes to be, and I'm like, okay, I like that, and I'm happy with it. So that's what I'm working on, is trying to get something that I'm happy with and it's going to work. Now I am doing this voiceover in the future, so I can tell you it does work. And I'm excited to make the second part of this video. I haven't done that yet, which is going to be decorating the paths, decorating around the shops. And also, I'll probably make a separate video making that post office, because that should be a pretty quick video. Now, somewhere's in here where I'm walking now, I'm going to make one of my permanent pond bridges, or sorry, ponds that I said I was going to find a permanent place for them. I'm going to have two ponds. They're shaped like paw prints. And one is going to go on this side. When that will be done when I'm adding the water. And you will see that in this video. So now I'm just running around it, trying to see how I want this to go. I need this to angle up. This is where I'm going to put my diagonal bridge. And of course, when I put the bridge in, there's a whole separate amount of working on the cliffs at that moment, because it has to be a certain way for the bridge to fit in. And I'm not going to show getting the bridge to go in, because it does take a little bit of time. I'll show the bridge being put up, but not the work that goes behind it. Not this time. So now I'm going to check it out and see how it feels. Sometimes you just have to walk it to see how the feeling goes, and then you know what needs to be corrected or add on to a certain area, or maybe take some cliffs down. And then measuring if there's enough room to put the shop, and what that's going to feel like when I put the path in. So that's what I'm doing now, just taking a little stroll through the area to see what it feels like. All right, let's see where this leads us. Okay, so I'm going to start putting some pathing down, it looks like. Maybe. So this is the code that I found that I think is really adorable. And this is the one I'm going to go ahead and use in this area. I'm really happy with the codes I found so far for this island. Usually I really struggle. And I feel like putting these paths down sometimes is a job in itself, because I want it a certain way. I want it to feel like it flows. And these pieces have to fit in a certain way. I have my dyslexic moments when I choose the wrong one, then I have to redo it. Like right there, right like that. Yep. Now you'll have to let me know in the comments what you think of this path. I always like to use different paths than I did in a previous island that I've built. And this is one I'd never seen before. Very happy with it. I found all my codes on Pinterest, by the way. I do have a Pinterest, which will have all the codes I'm using on Hallelujah. I tried to make one for Milton. I couldn't find a lot of them, so I tried to put some codes together for that island, but it's incomplete. But I am working really hard on Hallelujah to make sure every code I find, I'm saving it and linking it in my videos, which I will link this in the video below, the description below. Isn't that teddy bear cute? I think it's adorable. And I can't wait to use that water spot one, that puddle. Has anyone ever done this before? Just keep going until you get the ones you want on the ground. And I think this is where the light bulb comes in. And I'm like, you know what? I could do something else right here. I'm not a big fan of having areas on my island where my villagers cannot go. I keep those to a very minimum, and I never put them around the villagers' homes. I really think the villager needs to have access to the whole island. And right here, I'm just showing you this is where Nooks is going to go. I'm actually going to try to put it there just to see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm not going to place it quite yet. We're going to do some work on the cliffs just really quick, just to fix a couple things. I'm going to make this a little longer. Of course, while I'm doing this, I have to keep in mind that I am going to fill water around this whole area, and I need to have enough room to give, you know, enough to make it look like it's the river around the shops. And sometimes when I'm making these cliffs, I really don't know exactly what it's going to come out like, but I just keep going until I have something I really like. So sometimes it's taking away, sometimes it's adding. Right now I just want to have a nice smooth angle on that cliff. Then add some in the back. I do want to put some trees around the shop. I really want to get it as close to the right shape and enough room before I start putting buildings down. We're going to extend this pathway a little bit to have a little bit more room to put maybe some more benches or trees or whatnot. That's not quite right, so I'm going to fix it. Okay, let's try to put the shop now, and let's see what we have. Okay, so I skipped a little bit, and I skipped over to where I had the bright idea of changing this area. I'm actually going to put some hop hops that go from one cliff over to the other, leaving the single cliffs, or the single, yeah, I guess the single cliff as hop hops up on the top. But then it looks kind of cool as you're walking up to this area, which is going to go ahead and be the post office. It closes it in a certain level, and I think it looks really nice. Now I need to go fix that last one. So let me go fix that one really quick. It just doesn't look quite right. It doesn't look even. So we're going to take that one out and just put it up higher. There we go. Now it looks even. Like it belongs. Okay, so here we are to my bridge. I'm putting a stone bridge here. I don't have enough room to make a big bridge, so I thought I'd have something small, and I really like the stone bridge. I think it's cute. Awesome. So now I'm going to try the shop again, now that I can see with the water around it. And I think this looks a lot better. Yep. So yay, I've done some work. I did some offline work. And I'm going to show you what I've done and kind of give you a tour. I did put my pond in, and I put the river in. So I want to show you how this looks on the map. See the difference? So you can see where my shop and my diagonal bridge is going to be once I time travel or move ahead to the next day. I have my paw print pond there and the water that surrounds this whole area. So I think this is going to be really good and work out really well. I'm going to do something very similar on the other side of that land bridge. That's going to be the rainbow bridge. When I get done with that area, I have a bunch of houses to move to be able to do that side. All right, let me go ahead and show you around just a little bit. I am really happy with how this pond turned out. It's like a pond, but it's like an island. It's like both. Very cool. And then I did some decorating on it. So I'm honoring 4 of my dogs that have passed away over the past few years. And I want to honor them with these ponds. So I am going to have a little graveside for each of them, 2 on each pond. So let me show you that. Let's just walk over. Of course, when I have a dream address later on, that ladder will lead you to this area. So here is my pond. It's a pond and it's a floating island. It's both. It's perfect. I love it. I love how this turned out. So this is Toby. Toby was scared of everything. He was scared of thunderstorms and lightning, and he always had to be close. Always begged for food. Very sweet dog. He was 5 years old when I adopted him from someone else who couldn't keep him. And Tommy, oh, Tommy was an old soul. I had him from day one, and you can tell I'm getting emotional. I love this dog. And Tommy is going to be the one that has his own cafe. Yep, so I still have to decorate this little area right here. There's a couple areas around the river that still need to be decorated. But I really think this turned out well. I'm super happy with this pond. And I'm going to make another one just like it on the other side of the land bridge. Once I move those houses, I will do that on video, so you can see the process of making this. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting super excited to see the end result of this island. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself because I want to enjoy the process and the planning and everything that goes into it. So I still have a lot of decorating up here to do with the flowers and different decorations that I'm going to put. I did want to make sure when I extended this cliff here that you could see the pond. There was a spot to stop here and look over the side and see the pond and see the graves. So this is my walk up to where the shops are going to be. This is where Nooks is going to be here. And my diagonal bridge. And then Abel's, when I get to it, is going to be on the other side. It's not going to be a lot of room, but it's going to be pretty. I think it's going to be really nice, and it's different. This is something I haven't done in the past on any of my islands, so I'm really excited because it's going to be different. And then, of course, if you continue on this way, you get to the hop hops. And that's going to be really cute with the post office in there. I'm really excited to do that. And I'm really happy to experiment with colors for this and figure out how exactly I want this area to look. There's not a lot of room here. I may have to make that a little bit of a bigger area. But I'm going to be taking this bridge out. And I'm not going to have the water mess with the peninsula at all. You'll be able to get to this peninsula area by walking behind the back of the island. I have a pathway, but that's my map so far. Have a lot of decorating to do. Can't wait to put the cafe in over here. I think that's going to be nice. Yep. I'm going to try to make something very sweet for Tommy. So I'll take this bridge out eventually when I don't need it to walk on for convenience sake. Yep, and there's the map again. And all these houses here, they have to go. They have to be moved into the neighborhood. The neighborhood is going to be it's going to be happening soon. It has to. I can't progress onto the other side of this bridge unless I move all those houses. So it has to be done. And then of course I'm going to work on this side. There's going to be something special going in here. And then the waterfall. So I still don't know quite what that is yet, but something will hit me and I'll be like, yes, I need to put that there. Whatever that is, I'm not sure yet, but it's going to look, the waterfall is going to look a lot like this one. So it matches somewhat. But for now, that's what we have here. A lot going on, a lot of good things going on. Once I move Lucky in, I can progress to the next day and we can continue to move on. There will be a part 2 to this video, so look forward to that. I hope you've liked this video and that you will subscribe to my channel. A lot going on Hallelujah these days. It's going to be beautiful, I promise. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.